So I saw the comments. There were a lot of comments telling me that I was gambling, telling me all the reasons why I'm not a profitable trader, telling me how I'm at fault for it all. And there were also a lot of comments that were really full with love and thanking me for sharing my experience. The funny thing about the comments telling me I'm a gambler and that I'm the problem is like, duh. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't hide the fact that I was over trading, over leveraging. So I didn't really understand why people were just coming on so strong. It was really like, did you watch the video? Like, this is what I said. I said that I was really mistreating my accounts and this is why I need to stop. But after rewatching the video, I actually understood that I wasn't clear enough on what my main issue is with trading, which is, although a lot of people told me to work on my psychology and come back, the reason that I definitely should never go back unless a miracle happens and God really wants me to go back, which I do not think will happen anytime soon. So I decided to make this video to be a bit more straightforward, and I'm gonna divide it again in chapters. So in chapter 1, I'm gonna tell you how I actually traded. I went from retail to smart money concepts. And chapter 2, I will explain the real reason I should not go back to trading. And chapter 3 is more about like deciding to let go. So yeah, then I will divulge in chapter 4 my other sources of income, which is also a reason that I do not actually need to be trading, and also the reason why, for some comments who were saying that I was too focused on the money, like in a sense I was, but that's another reason that was my main problem. But also because of my other sources of income, I wasn't as dependent on making it big. Like there are some people who go into trading and they don't have any assets, like they just need to make it happen. And I never really was in a position where I had to necessarily make it happen or I would starve. Like, thankfully, thank God I was never in that position. And yeah, chapter 5 would just be like conclusion to it all, and I hope it's gonna be really straightforward and really explanatory for all these comments. Like, it was so overwhelming, I couldn't even go through all the comments, but I tried to go through a few. I got a few emails I'm gonna answer soon, but really thank you for all the guys who like reached out and really took their time to comment down below, even the haters, because some people were really rude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just like, guys, we are too used to being anonymous on the internet. So yeah. Anyways, chapter 1, how I actually traded. Obviously in the beginning, in the last video, I already explained that I was in this course by, Lavish Ruby, and she would use like basic concepts. It was like trend lines, RSI, moving averages. So the typical thing that retail traders learn in the beginning when they freshly learn how to trade or learn about trading, let's say it like that. But I really moved on rather quickly to try to want to understand the market more. So obviously Trading in the Zone, like all these books, been there, done that, okay? But what I did, I got to know, in a sense, I found ICT Inner Circle Trader early on, but I really couldn't handle his videos. Like, the way he explains is just so tedious. It's really hard to stay focused, and it feels like he's not getting to the point. Like, it's back then, like 2020, 2021. But we'll get back to ICT. So I started really getting into smart money concepts, and there were a lot of YouTubers breaking it down for you, talking about points of interest, imbalances. It was really nice because you had these whole like Wyckoff. Oh my god, I already forgot about it. Wyckoff, like accumulation phase and distribution phase. It was really, really, really nice and felt more logical to me than to just have random trend lines that will always get broken. But obviously everything has its limits. So I really dived into smart money concepts, and especially in 2022, I think, when ICT came out, 2023, I'm not really sure. When ICT came out with his course, like free course and stuff, I obviously went into it, like for value gaps were my thing and stuff. I'm not gonna say, everyone has their own way of trading. Everyone has their own way that is working for them. So I'm not saying that one way is necessarily better than the other. I'm saying that I dove into smart money concepts and it did work for me. For all the people who are talking about me gambling and stuff, guys, yes, I was gambling, but it's not that I wasn't trading. And that's what we need to get into now. Obviously, I wanted to show you guys this a bit how I used to trade. Obviously, I traded, at first I traded GJ. I was really into GU, GJ, and so mostly Forex in the beginning. And I loved NASDAQ. Like, I had years with NASDAQ, but at one point I just went on to move to gold. And the reason for that was the streamer Donvo, because he would always trade GJ and gold. And I saw how volatile, like how much gold moves, and it's just crazy. I literally forgot where I was. I'm sorry, my mom interrupted. Anyways, so I went into gold because it was so volatile, and it will make sense in chapter 2, but I really needed volatility in my brain, you know? And it will make sense when we go to chapter 2, why I needed it so much. So, like an example, obviously you won't be able to see it that well. It's an old trade, like I think it's March of this year. I had a really good trade, and just for you to see a little bit, like obviously I marked out, this is 2 hours, so I always had a higher time frame breakdown. I would go from weekly, daily, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, you know. I would have a breakdown to be able to see, like, the market is fractal, you know. I do have an understanding for the market, I'm not gonna lie about that, and nobody can take it from me. Am I gonna say, oh yeah, I'm the best? Never in hell, because I'm not a consistently profitable trader. But for the people who said that you need fundamentals, you need technicals, guys, like I was on Forex Factory, I knew which news not to trade in, which I would still sometimes trade in, because we'll get into that now. And I obviously had an understanding for the market. Even if it's not your way of trading, I still had an understanding for the market. And that's why I did make money. It's not that I didn't make money. Sometimes I would really make money easily. As I said, sometimes I would in one day go from 100 to 2,000, from 100 to 1,000, from 1,000 to, you know, like, it's not that I didn't make money. My problem was that I did not stop. Okay, so let's get into chapter 2. The addiction sets in, and that's what a lot have to understand. Like, oh my god, I feel like I'm so forceful right now, but that's what I really had to admit to myself. I was addicted to trading. I have a trading addiction, guys. So obviously, with all the love, I'm really grateful for other people who told me, hey, just work on your psychology, you can go back. Thank you so much for the love and for the care. But honestly, I have an addiction. And when you are addicted to something, you should never go back. It's like you wouldn't tell a person just because you can have a sip of wine, a person who is super indulgent, like a person who doesn't have a limit, you wouldn't tell them, oh, maybe you can just go back. No, they shouldn't ever go back. They have to be sober, because their brain doesn't allow for them to have this limit. And that's something I really have to admit, really had to and have to admit to myself when it comes to trading. Like, I really tried to be disciplined, but I just can't. I'm so addicted to seeing crazy numbers, not even the numbers. Like, I would start out the day and have 1-2 good trades because I was respecting my risk management. I did have risk management, guys. In the beginning of the trading day, I would always be calm and collected. I had good risk management. I made money. I could be done. Like, sometimes I made money, and I knew in my head, I knew in my brain. I even told my friends, like, I had a good friend of mine who also trades. I told them, oh, I should be done for today. And then I'm like closing the computer, putting my iPad aside, or like going on YouTube, and all of a sudden there's this craving, like, just look at TradingView, look at the market, go back, just see what happens. Don't trade. And I do it, and I see what happens, and I tell myself, oh, there's an opportunity, without actually doing my due diligence, which would be like market the market, like really look for the real opportunity. I was just like, I want to trade, you know. I felt so bored. I would trade just to trade, actually. I was addicted to just being inside of it. Like, I like the feeling of the high, seeing the numbers move, if it was in red or in blue, like just this feeling of the high. And it was toxic. It was toxic as heck because it didn't feel good, but I was addicted. You know, I was just like, I needed to see it. I needed to make it happen. I needed to be in it. It was worse than fear of missing out. And there were times, like, I passed a lot of challenges. Like, even this year in July, I passed the FTMO 100K in US dollars, but it was in euros. So 80,000 euros challenge. I passed it. Like, I have the real account, okay? And guys, I was in profit. I was 1K in profit, and I told myself, okay, Jennifer, be done. Like, it was in the evening. I was like, be done. Don't trade. Just wait for the profit split. Wait for them to pay you the 80% and give you your challenge money back. What did I do the next morning? I woke up. I went on TradingView telling myself, I just want to see what's going on in the markets. I'm not going to trade. Guys, I traded, and do you know where this account is? I'm 1 year away from losing the account. Oh, I was 1K in profit. This is so crazy because obviously once you're in drawdown, like, I couldn't trade normally. I couldn't be like, oh yeah, let me just be calm about it. All of a sudden it was, oh, I need to get my loss back. But from the get-go, it wasn't your money. And that's something you have to understand. And consciously, I have an understanding. But do I act after it? No. And it's not to say that I'm not a disciplined person. Like, in every other area in my life, I'm pretty much disciplined when it comes to fitness, when it comes to health, when it comes to my other work that I do, which I earn money with. I'm pretty disciplined when it comes to all these other sectors. But trading, it wasn't about being disciplined. It wasn't about all the books on discipline I read. It wasn't about me being disciplined in all the other areas in my life. I was addicted. So, chapter 3. I hope this makes it more clear for those who tell me, yes, I was gambling. I was gambling because I was addicted. I wasn't even chasing the trade itself. I was chasing a high. And no, I cannot go back to trading because I have an addiction. I have a freaking addiction. I'm chasing a high. That's why I have this sense of not enough. Like, I can be winning, and for me, it's just about being in a trade. And while I'm in it, I want to be out of it. This is the crazy thing. But I feel so bored, like I need to constantly be in it. This is an addiction. And honestly, so far, I don't really have the tools to dim it down, because it's not about discipline. It's about me being addicted to something, which is the reason I decided to stop. I decided to be earnest with myself. And here we come, chapter 3. I at one point just understood the way I was acting was so erratic. It was so out of character. I had to let it go. I had to stop. I cannot trade. I cannot do it. I cannot do it to myself. I cannot do it to my health. I cannot do it to my relationships, because I become erratic. Like, have you ever seen a person that is addicted to something and how they behave? It's not how they normally are. And that's how I was when I was trading. And I know that there are others who are in the same boat as me. So the first video and even this video is not for the people who are good at trading, who have good risk management, who are disciplined with trading and everything. It's for the people like me who, yes, you are good, but you can't stop. You cannot stop. And this is the sign for you to stop. Let it go. You don't have to trade to be a good human being. You don't have to trade to be a worthy person. Sometimes it's okay to not be good at, or to have to stop. Sometimes it's good to let it go. It's okay. But I'm also not trying to bash trading itself. I'm just saying that I had to make a decision that would benefit my mental health, and also the health of the relationships I have, not only with myself, but with the people around. I was becoming a human being that I simply am not. And that's why I really have to underline it. I was and I am addicted to trading, which is the reason I should not go back. But I'm not saying that everyone else also shouldn't trade. I'm not saying it's a huge scam. I did say that the industry is predatory, and it is. It is a predatory industry. It is. Like, guys, I won challenges. I had like 2 or 3 25K challenges I won with Funding Talent, like back in the day. Do they still exist? It's a prop firm. They don't exist anymore. Like, from one day to another, they were just gone. And like, you can constantly see the news. One great YouTube channel that if you want to have some gurus debunked is Iman Trades, or Iman Trading. Yeah, Iman Trading. I love his videos because he's really debunking how some gurus are just lying to our faces, telling us that they're making all these gains that they're not, and then they teach people something that they even, like, they're not even making good money from it, but they then teach others. So you're not actually teaching the real thing. You're not teaching the real knowledge. But he's also not saying that you can't trade. Obviously, everyone can trade. It's true. But if you have an addiction like me, you should not. Like, everyone can drink a glass of wine. I don't know why I constantly compare it with alcohol, but whatever. But just because everyone can do it doesn't mean that you, when you have an addiction, should do it. You shouldn't. That's a decision I took for myself when it came to trading. Oh my gosh, this video is already getting so long. Well, chapter 4, my sources of income. I did say in the video that when I was in debt, obviously you have to think about it. I've been trading for 4 years, right? I only recently stopped. And there was a period in my life where I did not work a regular job, so obviously I'm also still a student. Like, actually, I'm almost done with my bachelor's. I'm just waiting for my bachelor thesis, but it's taking so much time. So I always worked, and I also give workshops. I give workshops and seminars regarding African history and anti-racism, and this is a big chunk of my source of income, money that I make. I also worked a lot in companies, just in general, but there was a phase in my life where I actually didn't need to work in a company anymore because the money I was making from the workshops was sufficient enough to just focus on the workshops, actually. And if you want a video on that, like if you want a video on how you can like how it can go, how you can get into giving workshops and seminars, maybe, then write it in the comment section, and I actually have a video that I never posted because I'm a lazy girl. And yeah, so sometimes lazy when it comes to things that I don't really, YouTube, obviously. So I had always 2 sources of income most of the time, but at least one. And obviously right now I'm back to working a normal job while also giving workshops, because in this period this year, I just needed a bit more consistency, obviously. And because of the trading, like, I just needed to really build up an emergency fund, which by the end of the year, I'll have a good chunk of money, like a few thousand euros set aside. Like, I'm not struggling, obviously I always invested. I've been investing since I was 18 years old. I'm good when it comes to money. So if you want a video on how to take care of your money, like, guys, that's also a thing. Even when I was like in debt and like struggling, as I said in the previous video, my little brother, he was always telling me, Jennifer, I know you. For you, it's not a problem. When you don't struggle with money, you always get it back. And that's true, because I'm pretty good at putting myself back when I need it and really building up my funds when I need it. So if you want a video on that, also comment it down below. But let's go back to it. So obviously for me, it was the workshops that I make good money from, the workshops and seminars that I give. And obviously sometimes when I do work from work, just the 20 hours a week that I work. So yeah, I do have other sources of income, and I am really good with my money. I'm always working on having like a minimum in my accounts. And this was a dark phase in my life when I was in so much debt. I've never been in debt before, and I don't plan on ever being in debt again. And someone commented, oh, 30K, it's nothing, like you can put it into college or whatever. Guys, I live in Germany. We don't college being so expensive is such an American thing that I cannot relate to. I'm sorry. And I'm really grateful for that. So, last chapter, I really want to dial down on the point that I was trying to make. You should not be trading if you're addicted like I was. If you find yourself in the same situation, and it's okay. It's okay to not be a trader anymore, because there are so many other things that you can do. You have so many other God-given skills and experiences that you can share and that you can build businesses on. Or sometimes for some people, it's also good. The 9-to-5 lifestyle is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I personally hate it. I hope it's not gonna be me forever, but for some people it's a really good thing, and it's a respectable thing, to be honest. So yeah, just going back that, yeah, you can make good money from other things, as I've been doing in the past. So I was never totally dependent on making it big and trading quickly. I was just addicted and constantly loved having the rush, and that's why I was able to throw in so much money from my workshops and everything. Like, all this money I put into trading was money from my workshops that I could have actually have now, have on the side now. obviously I had fixed expenses, so it was more money than it's more money than I make from my workshops, but still, whatever. Conclusion, like back to the chapter 5 idea, I just want to say, for those who are good at trading, for those who love it, if you love it, if you enjoy it, then go ahead. Like, I know for all the people who told me, I know if you just stick by it longer, you can make it. Aside from the addiction, I know I could. I'm pretty sure I could, because the more you give energy to something, and if you're smart about it, like, I obviously already have the reflection. I know where my mistakes are. I know what my problems are. And I know that I could make it happen. But I just realized for me personally that I really hate it. I really do not enjoy trading. I really don't feel good about it. I don't feel joy. I don't feel satisfied. And I rather put my money into something else, because for me, trading was like a quick fix, right? It was a means to an end. It was possibility to build up capital and do the things I actually want to do. But now I'm understanding I can just try doing the things I actually want to do. It's not going to be easy, but I should put this hard focus on the things that I want to do for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Just like you want to trade. There were people commenting how much they love trading. Amazing for you. I'm so happy that you found something that brings you joy. Keep going. But for people like me who are just seeing it as a means to an end and maybe have an addiction, don't do it. Just stop. We don't all have to be traders. And I really felt like some people in the comments were they felt targeted. Like they had to, like, obviously not everyone, but a few, they felt like they had to put me more down so they can feel good about themselves. Like, find a reason why this happened to me, to explain that, oh, this is what's not going to happen to me. You were in your own way. I never said I wasn't. I know I'm taking full accountability. I'm not saying trading is the problem. I am the problem. I have an addiction, so I need to stop. So yeah, I hope this video was a bit more understandable than the last one, and I'm so grateful. I don't know if as many people will watch this video, obviously. I don't know, but I'm really grateful for everyone who watched the video. I'm really grateful for all the people who subscribed to my channel. I didn't see that coming. I really thought it was maybe 30 people who were gonna watch it. I really made the video because God put it on my heart. He put it on my heart that there's maybe one person out there who is going through what I went through and who really needs someone telling them, you do not have to keep going. You can just stop. It's fine for you to stop. And this is the message I want to give out. If it's for you, go ahead full force. And if it isn't, it's fine to stop. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking by me. This video is even longer than the last one, but thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful week. And yeah, obviously, if you want videos on my courses, like how I make the course or how like I make money from it, because it doesn't have to be what I make courses on, then hit me up. Like, if you want other videos, like, tell me, tell me. Ok, well, bisous, à bientôt.